Disclaimer: all copyrighted material is owned by Activision and Tony Hawk. I am only reviewing the game and do not own any of the copyrighted material. Please be aware that this video review is supposed to be for older audiences at the age of 15 or older due to the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Please don't send hate, discriminatory comments, death threats, etc. Now sit back and enjoy the review. Thank you very much for watching. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 Review by Wolfdog 107. Hello everyone, this is Wolfdog 107 here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be covering my review for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, and I hope you guys will enjoy. But before we kick things off with the review, I'd like to say quickly that I'd like to thank y'all for the new view count I had noticed when I last checked it for the manga review of the first volume for Kakegurui, aka Compulsive Gambler, if that actually is the English title of that manga. But I want to thank you guys for that view count that I had noticed, which had gotten to 1.5k. So yeah, and thank you for that. And yeah, let's go ahead and start off with the review. Now, here with this game, I'd like to say that it's a really fun and addicting game. I will say that you will spend a lot of hours in, not too much, but you'll spend a decent amount of time in it, to the point where you'll finish career mode and maybe dabble into free skate for a little bit or do some speed runs, which there is a speedrun mode in this game. Fuck yeah, more on that later. And I really enjoyed my time with this game, even if there are some limitations, which I'll get into later on, and some small issues with the multiplayer, which I'll also touch on later. I'd like to say that if you want to get this game straight up, like if you just want the answer now, yes, you should get this game. If you're really into Tony Hawk or want to try a skateboarding game or something different that you haven't played before, this game I can easily recommend it. It has a solid tutorial that walks you through the basics that you need to know and maybe some little advanced stuff. And the soundtrack is pretty good, although you can't hear it because, well, I'd rather not get copyright. So, let's just say, if you want to know how good the soundtrack is, oh, don't worry, it's fantastic. It mixes both old and new. And another cool thing about mixing old and new is that the game in general mixes both older skaters from back then with skaters that we have nowadays. So basically mixing the older days with the newer days. It's pretty cool stuff. But if you want to know how good it is in terms of gameplay, well, you're seeing yourself, where I'm playing as Lizzie Armanto. But then there's the whole trick system, which is pretty cool, which allows you to change up the trick inputs in the special tricks, grab tricks, flip tricks, and lip tricks, which only those ones, for some reason, you can't do the input change for grind tricks as well, not unless it's a special trick for grinding. But yeah, there's no grind tricks tab for changing the grind trick inputs, sadly. I don't know why, but it's just not there. But yeah. But then there's stuff like the stat points, which we'll get into a bit here. But the various different tricks in the game are pretty cool. You get your hard flips, your pop shove it, you get your fucking truck plant, hand plant, your Muska nose manuals, your rusty slide manuals, you get your nose grinds, all that shit. And then you get the skate shop, which allows you to get different things under the spotlight tab, which is for when there's brand new items that you are able to get, or items that you're close to unlocking through your level system in the game, and stuff like that. And then there's also the boards tab, which allows you to check out the different items under the boards tab, which are boards, decks, and then wheels. As for trucks, there's no purchasable trucks in the game. They're just automatically there for you. And the different boards in the game are pretty cool with their designs for the decks, and the grip tapes are pretty decent, albeit not too much. But I really did enjoy the different deck designs. I thought they were pretty cool, especially the geisha board and the there is a certain one I'm trying to remember. Well, you'll see it in the clip anyway. But there is also stuff that you can buy, like some apparel items such as hats, shirts, and then shoes, and then socks and pants as well. But if you want customization with all of these items, you're not gonna get it. You just won't get customization with all of the items. You'll get it with some of them, but it's pretty limited. By that I mean some of the items aren't customizable. And then the ones that are either limited to just different color variations for customization, or you can at least change the color of up to 3 colors for some of the items. But then some items will only let you change one color and just have that one single color, which is a little sad. But then there's the different amount of skaters in the game and whatnot. So instead of just playing as your custom skater, you can just switch over to like a Tony Hawk, Lizzie Armanto, Bobby Lassick, Chad Muska, whoever. And I thought it was pretty cool that they added both skaters from back in the day and then skaters from nowadays. I thought it was pretty cool. But back on the customization, as you can see, there's only 3 different color variations, or sometimes just 2 for some of the outfits or outfit pieces in the game. But then the customization for some of the items can also be something like this, where you can change the logo on the back of the shirt and select up to 3 colors for your own color swatch, or you can just choose a preset color swatch. But the color swatches basically let you choose up to 3 different colors for an item: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Tertiary being the 3rd color, secondary being the 2nd, and the primary being the 1st. And it was decent customization as far as what you could do with colors, but not much. So if you're looking for really in-depth customization, you're not going to find it in this game at all. So don't expect anything with the customization to go too in-depth. Just don't expect it, because this game's customization is severely lacking, and I was really disappointed with it in general, and they should have added some more stuff by now, but they really didn't add more customization features. They mainly just added more customizable items, but that's it. But I was at least thankful that you could at least do stuff such as put a logo on the back of your character's shirt, since that's where the camera's going to be looking most of the time. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And with the color swatches, you don't have to necessarily have them be 3 different colors. You could just make them just 2 colors, where you could just do red for the secondary and primary, and then do green for the tertiary, or vice versa. Or you could just do all one color if you really want to. But yeah, in the end, the customization was not that great, honestly. It could have been developed a lot more. They could have delayed the game a little bit to do it, or by now they could have released an update with more customization features and mechanics, but no. So here we have different boards that you can get, or decks in the game for your board that you can get. And there's some pretty cool ones, including some boards that are actual loading screens, such as that board right there that you see here in this clip. And it's one of the boards and loading screens, as well as some others out there, and when you get one of the loading screen boards, it just feels so special and whatnot. And then You can swap out the different trucks and swap out your wheels and whatnot. And then here in the next clip, you're going to be hearing some different voices for the character creation system, so you can get an idea of what they sound like.
Pooh! Ha yeah! Yeah! Ooh-hee!
Yeah! Yeah! Uh-huh! Yeah!
So, that was an example of what the character voices sound like for the character creation system. But then here we have the tattoos and the different kinds of tattoos that you can get. Sadly, you can't change the color of them. They're just preset colored already, so you can't really change the color of them. Nor can you change the size of them, nor can you choose where it goes. So, sadly, there's more lack in customization there. Sadly. Which, this game's practically a bunch of lack in customization, as far as I like to say, because, well, for what you've heard already and what you've seen already, a lot of lack in customization, which is pretty sad to say, because they had a lot of potential with the customization, but they pretty much botched it by a decent amount. Even if there's still customization in the end, I can't really say it's that great. So, in the end, if you're looking for customization, don't expect too much. But then here we have the different trick inputs that you can put in, and the stat points, which can help you increase your speed, air, hang time, your flip speed, your grab, or not grabs, but manual balance, lip balance, rail balance, stuff like that. Pretty basic stuff. But as for the trick customization, you can just swap out the different inputs for some of your special tricks and which tricks they are. And then you can swap out the input for grab tricks, lip tricks, and flip tricks. But for some reason you can't change the input of grind tricks. I don't know why, but yeah, the customization is okay at best, but it's severely lacking in a lot of customization depth and mechanics and features that you'd want to see in customization. But when it comes to the skate shop, you at least have a ton of options when it comes to what you can buy. So if you want like a lot of stuff to buy in the game with the points that you earn by playing the game, then it's safe to say that there's at least a lot of stuff you can buy so that you have enough things to go ahead and change the look of your character time and time and time again whenever you choose to do so. And then here we have the challenges, which the feature tab, or the featured set of challenges, are basically what it says, featured. Challenges that you're either tracking or ones that you are getting really close to or should start considering to work on. And then you get like the tour replay challenges, multiplayer challenges, single player, extra challenges, stuff like that. And there's some pretty cool ones and some pretty easy ones. Albeit there's barely some easy ones if you're like really terrible at a game like this and you haven't been able to improve at all, then let's just say the challenges are going to be a pain in the ass because most of them are pretty fucking difficult. I managed to get through some of them, but even I had some hard times getting through them because you just feel like that you end up struggling through the game because they made the challenge is so difficult to a point that even if you complete them, they don't reward you with enough so that you level up enough or gain enough experience points to level up as many times as you want, and they don't give you that much cash in the end. And then on top of that, for some challenges, if you wanted to complete them, you can't use game mods for 90% of the challenges, so you're stuck either trying to do the challenges to complete them, or just outright not being able to do them and just failing every time you do them if you're not even good enough at the game. So it's like, do I do some of these challenges or do I not? And it's really a pain in the ass because At that point, it just feels like you've hit a limit. Especially when the leveling system is a bit of a pain in the ass, because then it takes too long to level up around level 30 and higher. And especially long if you're already level 50 or higher, because then it takes hours upon hours upon hours just to level up once when you're level 50. And it's just bullshit. And here when I'm level 63, I haven't even tried leveling up again because it's just gonna take for fucking ever. It's gonna take me like 7 fucking hours just to level up. Or maybe a little less than that, like 5 hours or 3 hours. But it shouldn't have to take that long. At least in other games, if I wanted to level up from level 60 to 63, it would at least take me like, I don't know, at least 30 minutes. But here it takes way longer than that, and it's disappointing. So for the challenges to be this limiting to how many you are able to complete and then not be able to do the rest at all no matter what, it's a pain in the ass because they're your main source of leveling up and getting cash to get shit from the skate shop, and it pisses me off. Now, mini rants aside, here we have the Create a Park system, which is a really interesting system for this game. Or feature, I should say. And I thought it was a pretty cool feature in the game where you could create your own park in the game. And the options are pretty cool, albeit they're not completely as customizable as you'd hope. But they're at least decent enough to where you can get some shit done and make slightly accurate representations of older levels from older games in the series or anything else. Such as a Los Angeles map from Pro Skater 3. I had found out that someone had made that map in this game, but they couldn't do too much because, one, the size of your own Create a Park is too small for it to be big enough to be a complete replica of the actual Los Angeles level from THPS 3. And so, customization in your Create a Park can be severely limiting. If you're trying to go for a really big map, it's not gonna happen. So I wouldn't even bother trying to replicate maps like Los Angeles from Pro Skater 3, because it'll just end up too scrunched up and bunched up together. They're just gonna look too small and dinky. Now here we have some of the Create a Park where I'm gonna be making my own park, at least a little bit, you'll see. But you'll see that you can swap between the skate mode and your edit mode with R2 and the touchpad. And then you have the different options when you press on the left analog stick, which are toggle snapping, free camera, orbit camera, camera speed, place edit sensitivity, and display hints. All very useful things. And well, then you get the elevation system, which is for the elevation of a certain piece that you want to place, and it'll also move the camera, but it only does that so you see more clearly how the elevation is for whatever piece that you're placing. And then you can zoom in and out, and you can also switch up the backdrop for your level. I just didn't end up doing it in the clip because I had forgotten how to do it. And then you can just choose many different pieces, from quarter pipes to half pipes to kickers, stairs, tables, lamps, or just any other type of prop. Or if you want to get a gigantic fountain, you can do that, and you can do pretty much some basic things in this system. But do note that that it's not all going to be too well polished or as customizable as one would hope. Again, there's more lack in customization, but it feels a little more refined and better than the character customization and character creation systems. And I say that because there's a thing called smart pieces in the character creation system, which smart pieces are pieces that, as you'll get to see here, you can make new joints or use already existing joints and edit them. By that I mean you can change their height, their elevation, you can change how long they stretch out or how narrow the top half of the piece would be. You can fucking even indent a piece so that you could get that one shape that you really want. Hell, if you want to make a retrine, you could go ahead and grab the back end of the little bitch and just fucking drag it on over to the backside where the original end is, and then go ahead and connect it, as you'll see here in the clip. Which, it's a pretty cool feature, and I think that it was done pretty decently. It's just that if you have a pretty complicated shape, the pieces won't aligned well enough to make it look great. So sometimes it might look a little janky or mixed in together to where it's like, how does this even work? This defies all logic and physics. So do note there will be some glitches in there, but it's not too severe. And I thought the smart pieces were a really cool feature. And then here you'll see me be skating around in the game, just going through my own level and doing some different tricks. Hand blants, pop shove-its, hard flips, kick flips, you know, the usual. And then you can do like muscle nose manuals in the game, rusty slide manuals, lazy grind, or you can fucking do the pizza guy trick. You can do finger flip airwalks and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. And it was a pretty fun experience to play this game. And then I guess that really covers this section, but I could also just talk about right now about the multiplayer, since we're getting there pretty soon here. Plus the video is gonna be end soon. But yeah, so the multiplayer, it was pretty fun. I had some issues, such as some loading time transition issues, which it was more of a laggy experience whenever it would transition from one level to another after the usual cycle time would run up and stuff like that. And then another thing was with the matchmaking, to where there's two different playlists: jams and competition. Competition being for highly skilled players that want to go at it with each other. And then there's jams, which are for just a bunch of players in one lobby. Well, not just one lobby, but multiple, but you know what I mean. But then here you can see that there's a little bit of a lag spike or whatever in the loading transition here. Then it says, I don't know where I just completed the challenge. I don't know how I got that challenge completed, but But yeah, the jams and competition playlists for online multiplayer are a little interesting for the matchmaking, because in jams you're still gonna get the people that are really freaking good at the game and always get 2 million combos or 2 million points in a single combo, while everyone else is sucking at the game so badly they can barely get 500 points in sometimes for like one trick or something like that. Or like for a combo they can only get like I don't know, let's say 75,000 points for a combo, while the guy at the top of the leaderboard in the lobby can get 2 million points in a single combo. It's ridiculous. And those players end up just going into the jams playlist and just shredding everyone. And sometimes when other players are not that good, but they're in the jams playlist because they think it's a casual playlist, they end up losing to the top player because the matchmaking system is so fucking botched. It's ridiculous. Like, seriously, what the fuck? So, for the issues in multiplayer besides those two, the lag transition and the the matchmaking, there is also an issue to where in the local multiplayer, you had all of the game modes for multiplayer that exist in the game right now. But in online, 2 of them are missing, yet the rest of them remain. And it's a little weird. And honestly, I just can't believe they had that issue. But aside from that, multiplayer was pretty well, and I had some fun. Albeit when there was assholes on there. But yeah. And just a quick note, in multiplayer, you don't bump into anyone at all. If it looks like you're about to, it'll just phase you through them like a Casper the Ghost, so no need to worry about that. And then here is just some general gameplay, since I'm going to be just finishing this review at this point. Because I didn't want it to be too long of a review, so I had to shorten it a lot. So yeah. And now here we have the last few clips that are going to be coming up here, such as this clip. And then yeah, so now with the multiplayer, I had a pretty decent time, but there is also one more issue, such as the thing where there's all the game modes in multiplayer, right? But in local mode, they have all of them, whereas in online multiplayer, 2 of them are missing. Which horse is one of them, which is well, it's called skate technically, but it's called skate in the game because yeah, it's like horse, but well, you get what I mean. But yeah, so there's 2 game modes in online multiplayer that are still missing to this day. And originally, before the update for it had released, there was no private lobbies. But then later on, they had released the update with private lobbies. So now that has been fixed. And then there is the actually, no, I think that's it for the multiplayer. Yeah, the multiplayer issues have already been handled at this point, a little bit anyway, mainly with private lobbies. So if you do have issues with matchmaking, if you've already played the game and you're just listening to my review, then do know that, well, they've already got private matches at this point, so you could just grab a buddy through online multiplayer, put them in a private match with you, and then there you go. Since you two know each other's skill levels, it probably won't even be a pain in the ass. Hopefully. But yeah, for the multiplayer, that's about it. And then, when it comes to the regular career mode, there's 2 different versions. Solo tours and crew tours. Crew tours are basically the career mode where all your progress in it is shared amongst all of the skaters in the game. And then for solo tour, it's not shared. Instead, in solo tour, you have to make progress in career mode for each and every individual skater in the game, instead of the progress being the same for all of them in one go. That's basically solo tours and crew tours. And then the next part for career mode is the Pro Skater 1 levels and then the Pro Skater 2 levels. Being, well, practically the same thing for career mode, they're just different maps with different part goals. Some similar part goals, yes, but most of them are different usually. But then there's the ranked and free skate tab in the menu system, which covers speedrun mode, which is speedrunning through a single level trying to complete all of its part goals as fast as possible in a single run. And of course you can retrying of course. But then there's a free skate, which is just skate around freely without a timer. And then single session, which is skate around with a 2-minute timer. And so, I guess that covers the career mode pretty much. Everything worked pretty well, performance was pretty good, and I'd say that Vicarious Visions, the developers of the game, had nailed pretty much the game on its head. And yeah, I think they did pretty well. I didn't really have any performance issues besides the lag transition when the loading time came up for the transition from one game mode to another during a multiplayer cycle. in online multiplayer. But aside from that, performance was pretty fine. Leveling up was a bit of a pain in the ass once I hit level 30 and higher. And then character creation system, I was severely disappointed with it. And yeah. But gameplay was pretty solid. I had a lot of fun grinding those rails and getting the moose nose manual over and over again. And then just doing a pizza guy every 12 seconds on special mode. Plus with the game mode, or not the game mode, but the fucking the game cheats turned on. I thought that was pretty cool that they added that. And you can also unlock secret tapes in the game to unlock small videos that represent each of the skaters. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. It's gonna be a 7 out of 10 for me for this game. And yeah, this has been Wolfdog07 with the review of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, Wolfdog out. See ya!
Thank you.